Joe, you've accomplished a lot in your career. Kind of tell me what still motivates you exactly.
I think the biggest thing is, now being a part of these weekends and then the events that we do. I've had the chance to kind of make my bones in a lot of other places, but to be at this point in my career here in WWE and get the opportunity to put together some compelling programs and have some big shows it's a good time, man.
You've came from a lot of your your previous companies that you worked for. There's a really strong fan interaction, right? With that, tell me what are some of the fan interactions mean to you as a performer?
I think we get this great opportunity when we travel that we get to meet people from around the world, all different walks of life, cultures, and that's a bonus. But occasionally you're going to meet these fans who you've made an impact in their life, and it's stuff that you wouldn't even consider that would make an impact in their life. Whether it's just the entertainment just helps them get through the day, to people saying, "Oh, you inspired me to do this or do that," or accomplish a goal I didn't think was possible, or just take a risk. And I think that's the big thing. We'll get stories of that, especially we do autograph signings for fans, and to kind of have that big effect on somebody else's life. It's surprising at first, but it's also it's really gratifying that you were able to kind of help out like that.
Who inspired you?
Honestly, I don't think it's so much wrestlers. I mean, I kind of grew up in the entertainment business. My parents ran a Polynesian dance troupe for years. I toured internationally, and if anything, it was my father, because what I did then when I was on the road and what I do now wasn't very different. I think a lot of parents, when their son says they want to get into pro wrestling and travel the world, they immediately are scared to death and are like, "Oh my goodness!" And I think the interaction with my father at the time, when I told him I was going to do professional wrestling full time, was, "You making money?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, all right, cool." By the way, I'm heading to Japan tomorrow. Well, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah, he's a real stone cold guy, man. I'd like to say that I've done it all, but actually he's done it all. And he worked for Walt Disney for years, the Ice Capades. He's traveled and entertained in all walks of life. So he's my hero.
Did you have to work like a second job when you were coming up?
Initially, when I first did, and I actually bounced. I managed a strip club.
Good stuff.
And right before I started doing pro wrestling full time, I was actually a mortgage broker.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So,
that's so bizarre,
which was it was great. It's a great money if you're willing to hustle for it. So, and I sold a lot of subprime mortgages and ruined a lot of lives. So, maybe I'm trying to make penance for it, and make people happy.
When Samoa Joe is not in the ring, what are you doing? What's the real Samoa Joe like? Popularized and all that.
I'm usually listening to music and a little bit more reading now than I used to in the past. But that's the biggest thing. And then if I'm unwinding, I'm usually at home playing some games or kind of chilling out.
We're coming up on 2 years when you had your incredible match with Balor at TakeOver in Dallas. We had the blood and you're getting pissed off, they were wiping it off. Can you kind of take me through what that moment? I know it was 2 years ago, but what were you feeling in that moment? Was the crowd just kind of energizing you? Or?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, sometimes you find yourself in these unusual circumstances, and at that point, and I liken it to an old fighter saying that no plan ever survives first contact, and that was definitely a plan not surviving first contact. So at that point, the crowd's charged up, the energy's charged up, and you're trying to serve a lot of masters there. You're trying to keep the energy going at the same time. Your medical personnel are all over you, and you're trying not to scare them to death because, it's funny, one of the medical guys after we got back, he stitched me up. He's like, I realize you're a little angry out there, but I appreciate you, being cordial with me and my medical staff. I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, because the last guy we had to stay up was Brock, and he threw me halfway across the ring. And he goes, you grabbed me one time, I thought I was dead. And I said, well, I can't admit, I was planning on throwing you somewhere.
And I'll let you go with this, but in an ideal world, you're in Mania, whether there's some surprise I don't know about, or next year, who do you want? What's a WrestleMania moment for you?
If I'm not wearing the belt, then whoever has it, I'll be taking it from him then.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Joe. Appreciate
it, guys.
Thanks, man.